The meaning of male, as in male gender, in biblical Hebrew, opens up vital Bible understanding. Hello, welcome to the Explanation with Sam Kneller. This episode, Meaning of Male in Biblical Hebrew, Startling Revelation, comes from the course Unlock Bible Meaning with 7 Keys to Master Biblical Hebrew, available at theexplanation.com. The meaning of male in biblical Hebrew unlocks Bible understanding. Names and nouns reveal deeper ideas than in your language. Take the meaning of male, for instance. It immediately conjures up men. In biblical Hebrew, it refers to much more. Without fuller comprehension, you probably miss most of the understanding, especially the significant spiritual implications. With the meaning of male, you're in for a twisted surprise. Genesis 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male. That's Strong's H2145. And female created he them. We'll look at female in the next episode. Here's the biblical Hebrew for male. H2145. Zachar. From H2142. Properly remembered, i.e., a male, of man or animals, as being the most noteworthy sex. KJV translations: male, man, man-child, mankind. I have to admit that when I saw Strong's, the most noteworthy sex, I figured I was in for a rough time explaining what this meant, being a man myself. Strong says that based on the biblical Hebrew, without explanation here. We know God created the man first and the female out of the male. Those are noteworthy points. What does God mean when he had the author of Genesis write that the man was the first human and the female was created out of the male? Here's the key, and as a reader, you are already aware of this. Genesis 1 and 2 are not only talking about a physical creation, but also, and more importantly, telling us a spiritual story. Bible translations and reading tend to put more emphasis on the physical, superficial, visible level. That is only the tip of the iceberg. So what is the spiritual underpinning of the meaning of male? One Bible verse sums it up. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 47. The first man, Adam, is of the earth, earthy. The second man, Jesus, is the Lord from heaven. And Romans 5 verse 14. Nonetheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come, Jesus. Here we have the physical first man, who is the figure of and who foreshadows the spiritual second man. The point is, we can better understand the meaning of the first male, man, from the second, and the second from the first. The Old Testament and the New Testament mutually throw light on each other. Each gives us an enhanced understanding of the other because they parallel each other on different planes. The Old Testament is physical, the New Testament is spiritual. Let's notice a key characteristic regarding the second man, Jesus. Colossians 1, verse 18. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence. Adam and Jesus are the beginning and firstborn, respectively, of the physical and spiritual worlds. The preeminence of Christ corresponds to the noteworthy sex of Adam. Adam had to be the preeminent gender to fit the parallel. That's the spiritual meaning of male. Colossians 1, verse 18, confirms this in no uncertain terms, with no less than 3 descriptions applied to Adam on a physical plane. Jesus is the head of the body. Adam is the father of humankind. Jesus is the beginning. Adam was the physical human beginning. And third, Jesus is the firstborn of the living who died, while Adam is the firstborn of the physical living. In so many ways, Adam parallels Jesus purely physically. This preeminence makes the male neither better nor more important than the female. They are equal. But it does give the male a different role from the female, as we'll see in the next episode. See this article for further understanding of the meaning of male. Remember, with preeminence comes responsibility and obligations. Let's see what's involved through an additional meaning of the biblical Hebrew word in H 2142, from which Zachar, H 2145, derives. See above. Go to unlockbiblemeaning.com, find the meaning of male, and meditate on H 2142. What's the spiritual implication? Do it before reading and getting into the answer below. Another spiritual meaning of male. H 2142. Zachar, a primitive root, also as denominative from 2145, properly to mark, so as to be recognized, i.e., to remember, by implication to mention, to be male. KJV translations: be male, make mention of, be mindful, recount, record, recorder, remember, make to be remembered, bring, call, come, keep, put, to, in remembrance, think on. The Hebrew meaning from male is also remember. And this is probably the most crucial point that should characterize males and humankind. He should remember where he comes from, who his maker is, and he ought to be mindful of what God has prepared for him and what his responsibilities are. The primary responsibility of the preeminent is to remember. Here's more instruction on the meaning of male. Names and nouns, the fifth key to master biblical Hebrew, reveal deep spiritual meaning. The first man, male, prefigures the second man, male, Christ. I always wondered what the full value of the following passage about his youth is. One of his major roles was to remember, even from a young age. Luke 2, verses 40 through 52. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, Son, why have you thus dealt with us? Behold, your father and I have sought you sorrowing. And he said to them, How is it that you sought me? Wished you not that I must be about my father's business? Sam's comment, Christ remembered his father. And they understood not the saying which he spoke to them. And he went down with them, and came to Nazareth, and was subject to them. But his mother kept all these sayings in her heart. Sam's comment, she also remembered. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man. The first man, Adam, humankind, as we saw in the last episode, forgot his father. The second man, the male, remembered his father. Christ's lifelong ministry was his focus on doing the work his Father sent him to do. Study verses like Deuteronomy 5, verse 15, and 8, verse 18. But you shall remember the Lord your God. And Jude 1:17, and Revelation 2:5. Remember from where you have fallen. And Revelation 3, verse 3, remember, therefore, how you have received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. Males and humankind have a lot of remembering to do. In the next episode, we will cover the meaning of female, which is just, if not more exciting, than Zachar. Continue to follow this eye-opening audio Bible course or the free text and video course at theexplanation.com. All the Bible study tools for this course are freely available online, also at theexplanation.com. Let's unlock Bible meaning with the 7 keys to master biblical Hebrew and reveal the explanation.